Thank you so much, team. It has been awesome connecting with these amazing young minds. So let's connect with another amazing young mind right now who's going to help us deal with Father's Day. If you haven't got your Father's Day lunch menu set yet, don't worry. Chef Clem and Willie's have got us covered with a mouth-watering steak that will leave Dad wanting more. Chef Clem.
First, thank you for calling me a young mind. I appreciate that.
You are.
Thank you.
I meant to say immature, but it came out wrong.
I will take that. Anything to avoid these two grey hairs that I...
The problem is once there's two, they multiply.
All right. Talking about multiply.
This is something that really interests me because you've kind of turned me into a steak purist.
Oh, really?
You have. And to the point now that I do. Honestly, I make a really good steak. All on you. All on the tips that I've learned for you. Now we're going to do it completely different.
Completely different, something we haven't done before. And you mentioned multiply. I love this recipe because if you do it right, you can actually feed two people with one steak.
So you get a good steak deal like this, $121 for two sirloins like that. Thank you, I'm there for that.
There we go. So what you're going to do, please don't be alarmed. People are going to say, why is he cutting off the fat? If you're making a steak sandwich, this is something that I've learned, okay? You're going to want to take the fat off. But don't throw that fat away. How many months away from Christmas?
Oh,
and
flavor.
You want that fat for your roast potatoes come Christmas. So you save all your fat caps and then do some beef.
What do you do? Just pop it in a packet in the freezer? How do you save
I literally do that. I've got like a zip-top bag and it's got all the fat caps. And I've got quite a few now because I've had to do R&D for this sandwich. So come Christmas, my house.
I'm sure you had to do lots of R&D for this sandwich, dude. I'm working, man. I'm working. Just leave me to work.
Okay.
The work smells amazing. Thank you.
There we go. Okay, so we're keeping this. Fat cap off. Just because that fat, as it starts to cook, it pulls back, but then it becomes too chewy. If you're making a sandwich, you don't want to be chewing that much.
It doesn't have time to render and kind of release in there, so it's pointless. I get that. Cool.
Right. This is the science of the sandwich.
Okay.
If we look at the steak, you might not be able to see it at home, but the strands of the steak are running like in the motion that my finger's going.
Yeah, you can see it from the marble coming down that way. Cool.
What we want to do is we want to tap it against the grain, okay? So you're going to use the back of the knife.
Oh, wow.
Now we know that the steak, those lines or fibers are going that way. We're going to go this way.
Okay.
So I'm going to just turn it so I have a better angle, and we're going to...
there we go.
And this,
you're literally splitting those fibers, breaking those fibers up.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
And you want to use the back of your knife for obvious reasons. Using the sharp point, you can just slice right through it.
You're going to have mince.
You're going to have... Hey, homemade mince is a vibe. So on the other side as well, we're going to do the same thing. I'm not going to go do it as much, but you get the idea.
Against the grain.
Cool.
Okay, brilliant.
Now you've tenderized your steak. It's a little more relaxed, so when you bite into it, it's going to be softer. You're not going to have to fight the steak.
Sure.
Now you're going to...
Oh, wow, okay.
You
can even invite Dad in to do this if he's having a frustrating week.
This is also the fun part of the R&D, when you have a reason for just... So you want to really give it a good whack.
Gee whiz, I was going to ask you how your weekend was, but clearly,
I had a lovely weekend.
Get it out, man, get it out.
So what we've done is we've taken one steak and made it like so big that you can serve two people with it. So let's go salt and pepper.
Because there is a lot going into this as well, so you almost don't want it to be too big because it's quite rich. So I would use that almost as a guide. Try and make more out of it, make it go a little, stretch it a little bit further economically, but I think flavor-wise, this is perfect. I don't think you need more.
You don't. But I do need something else, though. I need a salsa. So what I've done is I've taken some cherry tomatoes and I've popped them in the air fryer at 160 degrees. And you just let it go until they start to really shrivel up, because what happens is they lose moisture, but they intensify in flavor. That's what you want.
Sure.
So everything over here is for you, G, except the sugar. I added a bit of sugar to the tomatoes before I popped them in the air fryer to caramelize a little bit.
Beautiful. We've got our sherry vinegar. About how much?
When it comes to the dressing, I love sherry vinegar, so I go a little heavy with it.
Okay.
So you can be generous with it, and then to that, we're going to add some red onion. The vinegar does an amazing thing to the red onion. It takes away that pungent onion flavor.
Okay.
And you let that sweetness comes through, and that's what you want. You're going to go with some parsley. Green chili, optional, but I feel like it needs that chili kick.
Yeah. A bit of salt and a bit of pepper, huh?
Salt and peps. Okay. The steak goes into some egg that we just beaten up. That's going to be the glue, okay?
Okay.
So... Actually, I was supposed to go flour first. So what you do is, don't make this common mistake. You're going to go take your steak and go into the dry.
Okay.
Then you're going to go into the wet, which becomes the glue, which is going to help the panko and Parmesan stick to it.
Look, it's not going to be ruined.
No,
okay?
not
It's
at
just
all.
going to have an extra layer, is what I'm seeing here.
Especially if you're doing a double crust, which I do like doing with this steak. Do a double crust. It just adds a lot more crunch, and it just makes it bigger, makes it look amazing.
You are here to do this anyway, so just go. Do 3 layers of crust if you want.
Do 3 layers if you want. I'm fast-forwarding, just popping that in there. So you've got your steak in your egg. Okay, give it a dunky dunk. You're gonna go into your Parmesan and panko. It is called a steak parm for a reason, and the parm is for the Parmesan, which gives you like a lot of, like a slight salt, like umami flavor, because we know Parmesan has umami in it, that umami flavor. Oh my goodness, this is actually, how big did I get the steak? It's amazing.
I know. You're feeding a family of 5 with this one.
There we go. So, that was the first crumb.
Okay.
Back into the egg, okay? And we're gonna go back into the breadcrumbs again. You really want like a serious crust on the steak.
I love that.
And my favorite thing about this dish is you can penne is with the proper term.
Okay,
you can crumb your steaks the day before. So then when you get home, just take them out the fridge. We know we always bring steak up to temperature before we cook it. But that part of just the crumbing is all done.
It's all there, ready. The flavors are locked in. I love it.
That's busy cooking. That's gonna fry. It goes really quickly. You fry it like you would a steak. So probably like 2 to 3 minutes aside. You still want to keep that pink in the inside. Now, cheese. Okay. We're going to melt some cheese in here. You could pop your cheese under the grill.
Okay.
To get that perfect melt, but we got a blowtorch for you today.
Oh, thank you very much. Any particular cheese that you've gone for here that's for the win?
Go for a mozzarella for that beautiful melt, but there's no reason you can't add mozzarella and something.
Okay,
so if you like blue cheese, go for blue cheese. If you like a bit of a mature cheddar, go for a mature cheddar.
Go for a bit of funkiness, okay.
All you want to do now is you want to get that nice melt on the cheese.
Hopefully.
And when you blowtorch cheese, I think Koreans have this really sorted. There's a flavor that comes out from the cheese. It's a slightly, not bright smoky. It's a different type of smoky that you get from the blowtorch and the cheese. So it adds to the actual flavor. So I like doing that. You're being so gentle with it. I love it. But you can see it's happening. That malt is there. Then you're going to take your beautiful salsa and you're going to top it. The options here, like what happens now is you have to think about options what you're going to serve this with. You could, straight up, have it just as this for dinner. But if you want to make it more substantial, we've got some of the Woolies roast potatoes. We just popped in the air fryer. You could also do some mash. It's totally up to you. That looks beautiful. So I'm going to pop it over here.
Pop him on out.
Have you got some more salsa you want to sprinkle over your steak?
We can definitely do that, my friend.
And again, you saw the size of that steak. I mean, once I've pounded it out and paneed it. And then you understand why I say one steak could feed 2. This one, even more. It's pretty...
Yeah, make no mistake. This is a crowd pleaser.
It really is.
I love this. This is a great way to think about your meat because you invest in your protein. So you want to make a really beautiful meal out of it. Now, truth be told, I need to try something different with my steaks. But I'm going to not try this. You know why? Because someone else is going to make this for me on Father's Day.
Exactly.
That's what I'm going to request. This looks absolutely amazing. Funky flavors, rich, beautiful flavor profile. I love it. And then we rounded it off with some gorgeous little tetties there. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. I think any dad would be happy. On behalf of all the dads, love you, Dad. My mouth is watering so much. That's beautiful. And of course, you have an opportunity to do this yourself at home. If this is the steak that your dad really needs this Father's Day, find this recipe on taste.co.za. You will not go wrong. And in fact, you can shop all the ingredients and a whole lot more, especially for Dad, at Woolworths Food, in-store, online, or using their amazing app. Chef Clem, you have outdone yourself.
Thank you.
And me, actually. Nice.